How to overcome your fear of launching, get visible and sell. Hi, I'm Lucy Griffiths, and I know what it's like to really be scared to sell your product. You have a fear that actually who's going to buy this, and imposter syndrome sinks in and you go, oh, everyone's going to reject me. Who's going to possibly want to buy from me? It's not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy enough. Who am I to think that I am some kind of expert? Why would anyone want to buy from me? And that was the narrative that constantly went through my head, where I told myself I wasn't good enough or worthy enough. And there is a massive fear when it comes to launching and selling and putting ourselves out there. And I used to do these webinars where I would literally kind of give loads of information, give everything, share everything. And then after, I don't know, however long my webinar was, then I'd say, oh, and you can buy this for $4.97 or whatever. And people would be like, yeah, right. Okay, thanks. I'll just implement what you've been teaching me. That was an amazing webinar. Thanks so much. I'm just going to implement that and then I'll come back to you. And I remember thinking, no, like, how can I possibly sell? And so if selling is not your strength, then carry on watching this, because this really is for you. So the first thing I want you to get clear on is actually just recognizing that you are worthy. You are good enough, and really looking at your own self-worth and that imposter syndrome that we all have. And your product, if you put your energy, your enthusiasm, your passion into it, you are going to be helping people, and focus on the helping people rather than about you and whether you're good enough or worthy enough. And I find that when I flip it, so it's not about me, it becomes easier to sell, where it's about like, oh, this might help you. And also by creating that digital product, it becomes a thing. It's about the product. Although it's me and it's my videos and it's my writing, it becomes removed from me. So in my head, it becomes easier to sell it because it's not me. It's like, oh, there's this thing and it might really help you. It's not, will you accept me or reject me or whatever, all those feelings. And so that can really help you to just feel more confident and comfortable when it comes to actually the process of selling and putting yourself out there. The third stage of this is then just having that runway of content. And I have, if you check out the link below, I have the easy launch formula, because I really passionately believe that when you have an easy plan to create your launch, it makes such a difference. And people really overcomplicate this and they turn it into something where it's like some big jazzy thing, and it becomes overwhelming. You don't have to do that. You know, for me, I used to do this massive launch and I would have a Facebook group and I'd spend thousands of dollars on Facebook ads, which is something that none of the big gurus talk about. They spend thousands of dollars on Facebook ads, thousands and thousands. So then while they might sell thousands of courses, they've also spent thousands, okay? So really know that. And so I'd be spending thousands on Facebook ads. I'd have a couple of thousand people, let's say 3,000 people in a Facebook group. But then I was having to manage, you know, with a team. I had a team of people, manage the team, but also I'd be then dependent on the Facebook algorithms, and are the algorithms going to work in my favor? And I remember doing this Facebook, I was doing, you know, my webinar, and I was doing it via Facebook Live. And basically no one could find the Facebook Live. It was a complete disaster. So I had like 3,000 people and nobody saw the Facebook Live, because Facebook had kind of introduced this live event thing and then the Facebook group. And so it was like 2 lives. And so it was an absolute disaster. And I sold as many as I now sell, now not running ads or launching. And so I really say to you that remove yourself from doing the Facebook group challenge and all of that, because you are dependent on Facebook's algorithm and you can't control that. And so suddenly all of these things go out of your control and you can't control that. So I really recommend doing a webinar where people sign up, they opt in, and then you email them. And so it means you get their email data, and it's, you're then reliant on webinar software. Now, it may be that it's Zoom webinar, and obviously there is always technical issues or whatever you may have with Zoom. So you have to make sure that's working and make sure you've got someone technically to help support you. You may really be good with the tech, but when you're in the midst of your webinar, you want to make sure that actually that you've got someone to support you, because actually that can be, there can be loads of frustrations and hassles with that. So make sure that you have that support. And that is why I really recommend I just want to give you, to help you, this easy launch system, because it made the world of difference to me when I opted to just make it as simple as possible, because I took out all of that stress and all of that, all of the spinning circles, and I just made it really, really easy. And I want to show you how you can do that. So for me to make it much, much simpler, I stopped running ads. I just was emailing my list, talking about it on social media. And then I was, on the back of that, I had a webinar where people would sign up to the webinar, and then I had a sequence of emails. So it was super, super simple. And the reason that I needed to do this for me was, one, it stopped me in that whole kind of fear of launching. It became much easier and much more manageable. And two, because I'm a single parent, I need to be really present for my son. And so if I wasn't making it simple and easy, then I would procrastinate on it and not do it, because I couldn't do it because I was trying to juggle my son and everything else. So by making it easy, it removed that stress factor. It made it simple. And so I really say to you, make it as easy as possible. Like, don't use the fear factor, don't use the complexity as another reason for you not to take action. If you make it easy, then it's like, oh, actually, I don't need to fear it, because actually it's quite enjoyable, it's easy, it's good. And then you're going to run it more often, and you're going to enjoy the process rather than getting ill and stressed out by it. You'll just be like, oh, that was fun, that was great, I can do that again in 3 months. And it not be this big drama and creating a big melodrama with a big team. I no longer have a team to run it. I just keep it really, really low key. In fact, I've done a few launches where it's just been me. And the reason I do that is because I just find it easier. And so I usually like to have somebody who's just on the live calls and just helping me with a bit of scheduling, but I really make it as simple as possible. And by absolutely reframing it and making it low key, it becomes so much easier. But you've got to have those systems in place before you can think about doing that. So get the support, get all the systems in place, and then make it easy so it isn't stressful. You've got to work out what works for you and what becomes, so it's easy rather than being like a big stress monkey that you have to stress over. So check out my easy launch plan below. I can't wait to share it with you. And if you like this video, I'd love you to subscribe. Please click on the link to subscribe, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, bye, bye.